Welcome to the first chapter of this particular module. In this module, we will be talking about concept of economy and economics basically. We will try to talk about what is assumptions and what are the role of assumptions in economics. We will be throwing some light on GDP, GNP, inflation, business cycle and so on. We will be discussing the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics, and we will be trying to find out the difference between economics, business economics, etc. So let us get started here. Whenever we are talking about economics or economy, since it is a very basic concept, let me ask you a question. What do you mean by the term economy? Well, an economy is a complex system of interrelated to each other, and hence it refers to production, consumption, expenditure of goods and services. The production, consumption and distribution of goods and services combines to fulfill the needs of those individuals and operating within a set of a particular system. An economy may represent a nation, a region, a single industry or even a family. An economy is a system of interrelated production and consumption activity that ultimately determines the allocation of resources within a set of group. The production and consumption of goods and services as a whole fulfill the needs of those living and operating within it. Market-based economy, also referred as free market economies, are self-regulated, allowing the goods to be produced and distributed in response to demand from consumer. Command economies are regulated by the government body that determines a good which are produced, their quantity and the price paid for them. In the modern world, few economics are purely market-based or command-based. An economy thus encompasses all the activities related to production, consumption and trade of goods and services in an entity, whether the entity is a nation or a small town, etc. No two economies are identical. Each is formed according to its own resources, culture, laws, history and geography. Each involves according to the choices and the action of the participants. These decisions are made through some combination of market transaction and collective or hierarchical decision making. Now, since we have seen what is an economy, let's find out what economics as a subject is all about. We will be throwing some light as how the evolution of economics have taken place, and we will find out how the word economics has been coined. Evolutionary economics theory refers to the branch of economics which is studying the sustenance of economic system like manufacturing, selling and buying using social evolution system. It draws inspiration from similar object branches like economic sociology, anthropology and foreign political economy. It does have enormous implication for other areas of economics like industrial organization, economic history, business cycle study, financial crisis and so on. Generally, the traditional economic theories assumes that people and governmental organization acts rationally. However, contrary to rational choice theory, evolutionary economics identifies intricate sociological aspect as the main forces behind the economy. Instead of continuously gravitating towards the state of equilibrium, the evolutionary economists contended that the economy is dynamic and continually shifting and chaotic. Numerous procedures are involved in producing items and acquiring the necessary resources, and these processes evolve as technology advances. As production and procurement process or procedures changes, organizations that oversee these systems and output must adapt as much behavior, consumers' behavior. Thus, you can say economics refers to choices or decisions made by individual, businesses and government regarding production, distribution, consumption of goods and services. It also studies the scarce or resource allocation for the same, or you can say during scarcity. In short, it is a branch of social science dealing with interaction of people with value. One of the defining features of economics is scarcity, which means with how people satisfy unlimited wants and needs with limited resources. Scarcity affects the monetary value people place on goods and service and how government and private firms decide distribution of these resources. Economics has been derived from the Greek word oikonomikos, where it is told as task of managing a household. Oiko means home and nomos means management. That means managing a household. So, when we have studied about evolutionary economics, it basically assumed that economic process involves are determined by individuals and society. It basically encashes the rational choices theory of traditional economies and argues that psychological factors are an important driving force when it comes to economics as a subject. Many political thinkers tried explaining the origin of the state in different ways. The evolution theory of the origin of the state can be described as a product of state growth. Now, this is slow and gentle evolution over a long period and eventually forms a complex structure of modern state. There are 5 theories explaining the origin of state, but it fails to provide an adequate explanation on the same. We will see that economics and society, or economics and household, or economics and nation and world are interlinked to each other. So, since by the time we have covered what is economy, what is economics, how economy has been derived or how economics has been coined, since we are clear with these concepts, it is very important for all of us to know what is the linkage of this particular subject with household, with society, with nation, with world. Let's discuss one by one all of these. When we are talking about economics and household, what is called as an household? Any idea here? Well, household consists of one or more person who live in the same housing unit, such as family. Household own the economic resources in the economy. The economic resources are land, labor, capital, entrepreneurial ability and so on. Individual needs to understand how to balance their income and expenditure, that is limited income versus unlimited wants, and use it to the best of the interest. We will try to elaborate these terms in the coming slides, wherein I will be talking about limited resources and unlimited wants. Economics provides valuable knowledge for decision making. By studying economics, a household can make a rational decision, and this result as significantly increased customer satisfaction also. Let's see now how economy and society is related to each other. The economy and society are related as they are interconnected and very much dependent on one another. Society as a whole expands automatically as the economy grows. The economy expands along with other important fields like health, education, etc. Thus, the development and maintenance of society depends on the presence of economy, which ensures a better planned economy. Hence, it provides a way to ensure better government policy which can affect society at large in terms of better jobs, raising standard of people, better health, education, road repairs, public transportation and so on. Now let's see how economy and nation is related. The national economy basically refers to production, distribution and trade consumption of goods and services by different agent of a nation. Now, every country wants its economy to be successful. So, each nation would have different goals that will ensure the success and the stability of its national economy. Now, since we know in a nation we have unlimited things what we have to achieve as a goal as a nation for the growth of a nation. And on the other hand, we also know that the resources are limited in nature. Hence, as a nation, as a government, it becomes very important to allocate the resources in such a way that a nation grows and each strata of these nation or in a part of a society as a whole can gain from these scarce resources. Hence, allocation forms a basis of it. When we are talking about economy and world, as we know human wants are unlimited but resources to satisfy these wants are limited in nature and scarce, and this problem of scarcity can also be seen at the global level. At the global level, international economies basically provides a way to study economic transactions among different countries. These economic transactions are also called as economic activities, and it includes transfer of goods, capital, resources, technology and services from one country to another. These transactions leads to increase, or you can say from one country to another country the transactions takes place. Now these transactions leads to integration of national economies into international economies, and these integration is known as globalization. Every country and many resources available within their territory, and out of the resources some are available in surplus while some are in the lesser quantity, and this is a global economic problem. And hence it is very important for us to see how well we are using these resources and we are sacrificing the needs here. It is also very important to note that we should consider what is the meaning of scarcity. You remember I told you that we will be talking about scarcity in details from these slides. So first I will try to give you a brief on scarcity and unlimited wants, and then we will try to interlink all these concepts in a better way. Thank you.